Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about passive income for musicians, artists, creatives, solutions for this digital age. This video is going to be focused on an overview, mindset about how all this works, and an introduction to 3 different approaches. It's going to be dealing with ways we can earn money online directly. I'm not talking about record sales, streaming, or YouTube ads, but these can be directly related to your art or craft. So we're going to be looking at 3 different categories ranked from how passive they are. So from fully passive to creating new online teaching options that can be much easier, as well as practical steps on how to actually implement them. So who am I? Well, I make my living as a bassist in New York City. My early focus was on internet and computers, working for a website company in high school. Anything I present here I've personally done and I've helped others set up with real-world positive results, so none of this is hypothetical. The thing I like about these particular strategies and why I'm emphasizing them for creatives is that they can be built up part-time, they can be done at your own pace, and they can serve as a supplement while still being mainly focused on your art and craft. You could dig deep into them. They don't have any real ceiling per se, but they've helped me while still primarily being interested in music and focused there. So it may be a given why passive income is important, but I think it's becoming more and more important. I think it's especially important to not have to physically be somewhere exchanging your time for money directly. A lot of us gig workers rely solely on this time for money exchange. Having some alternative, more passive income not only can be great for your stability and peace of mind, but give you more freedom to focus on projects that matter to you artistically, not have to live the lifestyle of constantly hustling and taking every gig, which can certainly take its toll. Record sales and royalties, to say the least, are not the income source they once were. We all know this. Also, live gigs and performances. I make my living doing that. I'm a proponent of a positive outlook, and we all find ways to make it work. But, there are some challenges now that are growing, supply and demand, as well as the cost of living rising, while gigs not exactly rising up to meet that cost. So if you're already doing well from sales and gigs, great. I still think this is going to apply to you, and there's a lot of good reasons to have this. So just drilling home why I think this is so important, why you might want to consider some of these options. Things happen. So I recently broke my knee. It's still broken a bit right now. It's impacted my ability to work and forced some cancellations. And you can't prepare or predict any of this stuff. I literally broke it inside the doctor's office on the floor while getting a checkup just to be healthy. So you really never know what's going to happen. And of course, cancellations. We've all had cancellations, but ironically, the reason I'm able to finally put this down, I've been working on it for a while, and record it, is because coronavirus has shut down most of the world, and it's completely obliterated our work, touring, and teaching. A lot of that time for money stuff just out the window in a moment. So it's really helpful, not only for earning potential to have some other sources, but creatively, as well as feeling like, okay, I have something else to work on that can help my ability to earn. Important note, especially if you're watching this during that crazy time, this is not super quick money type of material. It's certainly not get rich quick. You might be able to implement some of these strategies pretty quickly, but I put this more in the category of, okay, these are projects, these are things I can learn about and build up and dedicate time to, especially during downtime. So there's some upsides to this digital era. We know a lot of the challenges like streaming and YouTube. That's where people listen to music. But there's a lot of new opportunities as well as ways of being creative that can really work to your advantage. I think it's really important for us to become aware of more of these options and be able to focus our energy on where we can get a positive return on it. I want to put a magnifying glass on some of those ways you can leverage it right now that I don't think are nearly as well known. A big idea to get instilled is that you do not have to be huge. There's ways to leverage this currently that are available to you right now wherever you're at. Meaning you don't need 20,000 Instagram followers or a huge YouTube channel. A lot of you know the amount of work that takes, and those are the most obvious examples. It can seem like the only one who's able to make any money during this modern time is somebody with 1 million YouTube subscribers. And that can be a huge barrier to entry from you getting involved in some of these things, but it's really not the case. Again, from personal experience, for myself and others, you can have a video or a post that literally 10 to 20 people see, but if they're the right people and you're presenting the right thing to them in an honest way, they're actively searching for what you're offering. It can build a real relationship with that person, which can be a long-term potential of earning as well as other personal benefits and earn you far more than something with tens of thousands of views. A funny cat video with 10,000 views on it, nobody's there to buy anything. Nobody's interested in learning from you. Nobody cares who made it, right? So you can also use what is working. So focus on the positive. Yes, we know that people don't really pay for albums. They stream it, they go to YouTube to listen or Spotify, but they do expect to pay for online information, a program that teaches skills, and you have a lot of skills if you've created an album at all. You have all sorts of skills, whether that's the songwriting, your instrumental technique, how you compose the tunes you did, how you put the band together. You could have a cool, unique experience you create for them, group interaction. There's all sorts of ways to be creative and utilize your knowledge and skill set. And ironically, the tools to do this, to put something together that could make you money in this format, is going to cost a small fraction of what the album costs to make in most cases. So again, this is more about creativity and finding a different way of thinking, one that's aligned with the current times versus fighting against them. A huge thing is that in this modern time, it's not all on you. You don't actually have to be the one creating a course or an online experience to earn money from this. You can get commission for referring people to courses, material that already exists. You can literally get a commission for recommending your favorite headphones for mixing, especially if you're helping educate someone on, okay, this is what you want to get and why. This is a big deal, and for several of you, this is going to be the most appealing and best route to take, especially as a passive income source. It was and probably still is for me my favorite method since I first heard about it years ago. We're going to go much more deeply into that. The next video, method 1, is all about that referral model. For now, I'd like you to consider, again, staying on this mindset idea, something I'm calling digital real estate, to consider your website, any place people can see you online, as an asset. Similar to real estate, it has a literal dollar value. That dollar value can increase dramatically and increase in your ability to help you earn income. If you have a 10-year-old website, even with very little on it, it likely has more value than you realize. Just being an old domain name, evangregor.com, the fact that it's old gives it literally more monetary value. You'd be surprised, and that will be more clear as you go on. YouTube, your social media pages, all of that, they can be really significant in earning money with some of these methods. Just remember that while they're assets of yours, you don't actually own them like you do your own website. So I'm calling your real estate really anywhere people can see content that you put up. That can work well for you. And again, 5 of the right people seeing the right content that goes to a right offer can work very well for you. In some ways, the more niche you are, the better, the more specific you are. Whether that offer is for a Skype consultation that could turn into people hiring you, there's a link that makes it easy for them to do that, or you've made a course and you're presenting something and say, hey, here's a link to my course, or here's someone else who made one and you're getting a referral commission for sending them there. Quality over quantity generally wins, unless you're going for YouTube ad revenue, which, as you know, requires a ton of views, a lot of subscribers, and is probably not that relevant to 99% of us. With the exception of your website, which, again, that website does not have to be a huge investment at all. All these resources, like your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, your Instagram account, they're free to create. And as you'll see, they have no real ceiling on what you can earn from them, at least hypothetically. This is an amazing phenomenon, and it's brand new in history. You don't have to take out a loan. You're not operating a storefront business. You don't need to make, $3,000 in sales just to pay your rent. If you have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page and a website, it's sitting there, and it can be earning you money. Some or all of these digital assets will be utilized in these 3 methods, but as a professional creative in 2020, you should have them anyway. There's a lot of reasons you should have these, whether you use these methods or not. So again, these 3 approaches, I'm ordering them from very passive income. That's where you have content online that refers people elsewhere. You get a commission when they purchase. The second version is you have your own material. You create courses, live classes, downloadable content for purchase. But what makes it passive is having it set up in such a way that the payment, the person can find you, click, buy, the content's delivered to them, the emails are sent to them automatically, even maybe following up. That's what makes it passive, and the good news is there's a lot of ways to do that now that are far more musician and creative friendly and less expensive than they were. That's why I'm really gung-ho on this now, more than 5 years ago. And third is where you're still time for money, but, for example, teaching a Skype lesson, but they can order that lesson on your site, schedule it, have that schedule show right up on your calendar. So these 3 approaches, again, the first version, there's literally no action on your part. You might have no idea someone clicked on your referral, except that you just see money show up in your bank account. The second version should be pretty passive, but again, if someone's buying your course, they're your customers. You may have some interaction with them if they need customer support or need help. So it's a little more proactive in that case. And the third, yes, it's time for money, but again, if you start getting into group lessons and some of these tools that you can use for group lessons, it can highly leverage your time. But you could also literally wake up and see, oh, so-and-so booked a lesson, they paid for it already, the money's in my account, and I can see that time already booked into my calendar. Makes a big difference. So there's some trends in your favor now. Like I was saying, the tech has become easier to deal with, higher quality. You all have technology on your smartphone that can record good enough video to put in an information course. As musicians, you're generally, or artists, a little bit more savvy with that technology. And this is more relevant to you now in 2020 than it was for 7 years ago for a lot of different reasons. Like I said, this is more accessible to musicians and artists, and some of those other advantages are the fact that most of you have a community, meaning there's some people that already know you. They know you're a professional. They know you're serious about your craft and you're good at what you do. Your recommendations carry weight. Your advice and lessons carry weight. This plays really big into the you don't need 10,000 followers in a big way. You're not just some random woman posting, oh, here's something about microphones, right? You actually are someone that uses them. You have a certain amount of expertise. You'd be surprised how much you already know. People can look you up and see, oh, yeah, she's a performer. She's actually established in her career in some way, and her recommendation carries more weight. That's a big deal, more than you might realize. And there may be people out there that already want to learn from you. You simply need to give them an accessible way to do that. So like I was saying, that website you've had for 15 years without a lot on it, it's actually a very relevant factor for Google and YouTube to say, oh, this is somebody that's real, they've been around. This isn't just somebody throwing up a website trying to game the system and get referral commissions. This is an actual jazz composer. There's a spam culture about throwing up websites, trying to sort of exploit at least a couple of these methods we're talking about. This is also why it's hard to find an honest review of anything online. It's very valuable when you find someone who actually knows what they're talking about and can demonstrate that. Usually what people are recommending first, the reviews are pretty generic. Oh, this is an awesome camera. It's good for streaming. Whatever is there first, saying buy this one, it's just whatever pays them the highest commission. So your honesty and integrity and actual knowledge is a huge asset here. On that note, one thing I really want to get sort of going in the musician and creative community is that understanding that you can increase each other's value and direct ability to earn using these methods purely by being active on each other's YouTube channels and blogs and website. So if you have people you like, colleagues of yours, subscribe to their channel, like the videos of your friends, leave a comment on their videos and their blog. Remember, the blog is the only one of these assets that you actually own. Now musicians, or at least that's the community I'm in, we're not super aware of this. If I leave this video on Facebook, I'll get lots of comments from my friends and likes. I'll get far, far less, if any, from them on YouTube right now. And really, YouTube is where it's valuable. Getting the likes and comments on Facebook benefits Mark Zuckerberg much more than it does you. You having an active YouTube channel, if you're a trumpet player, it helps YouTube say, oh, if somebody's searching for trumpet lessons, this channel has a lot of actual musicians commenting on it and discussing it in an intelligent way, and they're liking it and they're watching it. We should rank this higher. We should make this show up higher. Now, yes, there are a lot of benefits to having Instagram followers and ways that this probably works well there. It's just not my expertise, to say the least, so I can't speak too much to that. So speaking of the YouTube and growing the benefit and getting that community aspect going and helping each other, please subscribe to this channel. If you're watching it on YouTube, simply click the subscribe button, leave a thumbs up on the video. You've heard people say that a lot. Maybe you understand more why it's so significant. If you're not watching it on YouTube, the link is below in the description or comment, or you can search for my name, EVANGREGOR. So far, I think I'm the only one with that name up there. These 3 approaches, they can be pretty different from each other, depending on the route you take. They can overlap and work together. Depends on which aspects of these resonate with each of you. Some of you are really going to like 1 or 2 of these methods. Others might want to go all in on one or feel like only one of them might be relevant to you. So for that reason, you've got a taste of what the 3 are. You could jump to video 1, which is about the referral commissions, Video 2 is about the online courses and creating your own material online that people can buy and it's automatically delivered to them, different options and ways of doing that. And third is where you maximize the automation in terms of people being able to sign up for lessons and how you might do group lessons and maximize your time that way. So for that reason, as well as for the sake of length, I'm going to do each of those as separate videos. So in the description of video, you'll also see each of these 3 types of approaches as they would apply in the real world. So I'll have some referral links there, some links to some online course that you could see this is how that works, as well as a link of how you could actually book me for a consultation about any of this, and that would serve as an example of sort of option number 3. So everything I add on this subject, including an email list, because I like to do live calls and share different information about this, that's on this page. You can see the link there, and that link will be in the description. And like I said, if you're so inclined, you can subscribe here on YouTube or go there if you're watching it. Those links are in the description as well. So I hope you found this valuable. I hope to see you on the next videos and dig more into the specifics of these three different methods. And I look forward to interacting with you in one way or another soon. Okay, thanks.